Coming up on Broncos Weekend, it's time for round 2 with KC. How do the Broncos plan to snap this dreadful streak?
It's a good football team. We're a good football team. We know that we can play better and play cleaner. We're looking forward to that opportunity.
Josie Jewell and the defense will have their hands full with Travis Kelce. We'll go inside the Broncos locker room with the linebacker.
Every time we play them, I get more hungry. So, I mean, we need to get a win, and this feels like a good week to do it.
And we'll discuss how the offense will change its strategy this time around against the Chiefs.
We're always confident. I'm very confident. We want to go in there and get this W.
That and our bold predictions are coming up next on Broncos Weekend. Hello, and thank you for joining us here on Broncos Weekend. I am Phil Milani alongside the Hall of Famer, Steve Atwater, and our Hall of Famer, Nate Jackson.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, thanks for being here, Nate. I appreciate it. We are getting you ready for kickoff against the Chiefs the second time around against these guys. And our main story this week, Steve, what would a win mean against the Kansas City Chiefs?
It would mean everything. Knowing the Kansas City Chiefs has kind of dominated the team in terms of the wins over the last 16 games, and to come out and get a victory against them, the reigning Super Bowl champion, a team that's in our division, a very important game, and to come out with a win would be big. But they can't focus on a win. They got to focus on playing one play at a time.
The Chiefs are the king of the division. They're 6-1, and they beat the Broncos 16 straight times, guys. So that's the bully on the block who continues to come around and take your lunch money and take your bike and take your candy and take whatever they want. It's time for the Broncos to punch him in the mouth. Is this going to result in a playoff run for the Broncos? Maybe, maybe not, but it would be one game that would be huge for the fan base. It's going to be at home, and it would get that monkey off their back.
Yeah, 16 times in a row. There's nobody in the locker room, though, who's been here for every one of those losses. So, Steve, do you think that there's like sort of a psychological part of this, though, that this feels like not just another game?
Yeah, I'm sure it does feel that way, especially with social media and everybody talking about it. Everyone knows it's been 16 games. That's a lot of football games to lose to one team. So everybody's aware of it. So I'm sure it's much more pressure on everybody than it would be just a normal game.
These guys need confidence. You know, it's one thing to have a good week of practice and feel good about the game plan going into the game, but then when it doesn't result in a win, oh, man, it's just deflating, right? Yeah. These guys need to have this process result in a win against one of the best teams, or if not the best team in the NFL. I think that would pay dividends for this culture.
Especially being in a division where the teams play each other twice a year, you gotta get a knack for these guys. And we've had some close games with them, but we gotta finish them off and get the win.
Yeah, and Arrowhead's a really hard place to play. So you're right. A lot of times you'd split. You go there and lose, but you come here and you got to find a way to win. You win at home. The home field advantage for the Broncos used to be the best in the NFL. You got the altitude. I'm used to it. You're not.
Right.
You get tired. I don't, right? So where is that home field advantage? We got to get that thing back.
Yeah. And a win going into the bye week would have a lasting impact too, I think. And even Russell Wilson said that there's a sense of pride about this streak that the Broncos want to snap it this week.
To win this game, we obviously won last week. We want to keep the momentum. That matters a lot. Momentum. That feeling of winning in the locker room, there's nothing better. I mean, just for our fans too, and the crowd, and just what it means to to everybody in this city, just winning in general, and then also too, obviously, to be able to pull this game off and be able to get a win against the Chiefs, which definitely matters a lot.
The last time around against Kansas City in Arrowhead, the offense, things didn't go quite as planned for them, Nate. How do you think they'll change things up now just 2 weeks later?
So you remember that game was a Thursday night game, right? And typically the game plan offensively on a Thursday night, not very complex. Nobody has time to put in a complex game plan and go through a normal week of practice. You don't even get normal rest. So everyone's kind of throwing their vanilla offense out there. Even though the Chiefs had a flea flicker in that game, maybe that's part of maybe that's vanilla to them.
Right.
All right. But the Broncos, I expect them to have a more advanced game plan here. I expect them to put in some wrinkles, try to take advantage of maybe some things they set up in that Thursday game. I'd like to see him press the ball down the field vertically a little more. down the middle of the field. That used to be a staple of the Sean Payton offense. We haven't seen a lot of that. And yes, ride Javonte Williams. He's looking healthy. He's looking good. But take some shots downfield. That's the former receiver and me talking.
Yeah.
But I think it really keeps the defense on their heels. And you tell me as a safety, I mean, if they take shots early, you're going to be backing up a little bit, right?
100%.
Yeah, so let's do that early, Sean Payton, if you're watching, and get some points on the board. The home crowd's going to love that.
Just 82 yards passing in that Thursday night game.
I'm sorry, did you say 82?
82, yeah.
Oh, man, that
So
was-
got to mix it up here and
No
take
bueno.
some shots, take some chances down the field. And
Well, the Chiefs' defense is actually, they haven't been great over the years. They're playing good right now.
Really good
They're a top 10
defense, yeah.
defense, so.
I was going to say, though, the good thing for the Broncos, last week we saw Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy really come alive.
Yeah, they had great games, and the offensive line did a good job of blocking for them, and Russell Wilson was able to see them and get the passes to them. And they got targeted more than they did in some of the previous games, and I like to see this trend continue. Now, I know everybody's talking about we got to get Marvin Mims the ball as well, but when Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy are cooking, you got to get them the ball when they're hot.
You got to keep some of these receivers happy with the ball early in the first quarter. In my opinion, those first 15 plays, Jerry Jeudy should have a couple, Cortland Sutton should have a couple, where they're going to get the ball in their hands. Maybe they get tackled for a 5-yard gain, whatever. Maybe they can break a tackle, maybe not. But they have to get involved in the game, get that lather, get hit a couple times, get mad, and then all of a sudden there's a run play to your side, and I get to decide how am I going to approach this block on this safety. You were on those teams where TD was running wild, like Ed McCaffrey, Rod Smith.
No, they're blocking.
They were blocking.
Yeah.
And when I got here in 2003, that's what I learned from those guys. You want to step on the field as a receiver. It's not just how many balls you can catch.
Yeah.
What can you do on the plays you're not getting the ball?
Yeah.
That's what's going to determine our success.
Yeah, it affects the whole offense when everybody's all in and feeling like they're part of the game. It has a trickle-down effect for sure. Well, 2 games in 17 days for the Broncos, a little bit of a scheduling quirk a little bit, but Sean Payton is focused on what he can control.
The files for this game, for instance, the same for them on the computer. However far you went back with the cut-ups, they all exist. And so here it is a week and a half, 2 weeks later, and you have all the files again. You add the Chargers to the files, the cut-ups. You add your game because you didn't have it, in your prep. And then you look at things that you want to do differently, things you want to keep, and so all of that's part of the process.
A running game will certainly help the cause this Sunday against the Chiefs, and that J&J tandem, Javonte Williams and Jaleel McLaughlin, have been a force recently. Here's Denver 7's Troy Rank with our matchup of the game.
We all know the Broncos' ugly current history with the Kansas City Chiefs, the not Sweet 16. They've lost 16 straight to Kansas City. So how do they change that this Sunday in Denver? Take them to the Double J Ranch. That is with Javonte Williams and Jaleel McLaughlin. If you're going to beat Patrick Mahomes, you have to play keep away. How do you play keep away? You run the football. And it is one thing the Broncos offense has done well this season and did it at its best against the Packers. You see some of the runs there. Let's start with Javonte Williams. Now he is more than a year removed from ACL surgery, and we are starting to see the player we saw in his rookie season. He still has that boom, pow, bang, that Batman where he can crash through guys and he's violent and runs with those intentions. But now that he's almost 13 months removed, we're seeing some of that high-end speed once he gets to that second level. He had his best game against the Packers. And then you combine that with Jaleel McLaughlin, the rookie. This guy is an absolute dart. So if Javonte is my Clydesdale, then Jaleel is the racehorse. He has just pure speed when he gets through that hole. He can make a difference at the second level. Against the Packers, he went old school Terrell Davis, put his foot in the ground, and then he cut back, and then that linebacker was on roller skates. He was like in a roller derby. He's wobbling around. So you can combine those two, the speed of McLaughlin with the power of Javonte Williams as a strategy, because we saw that against the Chiefs in the loss on Thursday night. That first drive, they were pounding the ball. 5 yards per clip. Sean Payton admitted after that game he didn't show the patience he needed with the run game. It's very clear now. The one thing the Broncos do well offensively is run the football. They're built to do it with Ben Powers, with McGlinchey. Boyd Cushenberry's playing the best football of his career. So if you're going to beat the Chiefs, you got to win the turnover battle. You've got to win the time of possession battle. Play keep away with Javonte Williams and Jaleel McLaughlin. That's how you limit Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. Take them to the Double J Ranch.
It's time to take a quick break. When we come back, what are the Broncos' plans to slow down Travis Kelce? Plus, we'll have our memorable matchup that you won't want to miss. That's next on Broncos Weekend.
Showtime, baby, showtime in the Mile High City!
A stunned Mile High Stadium fell silent as Kansas City took a 23-21 lead with barely a minute remaining.
Well, it is 4th down, and it is 10 yards to go, and we have a minute and 11 seconds to go in it. No way. Steps up in the pocket, lets it go long to Johnson. He's got it at the 40 on a 4th and 10. John Elway puts it on the button to Vance Johnson. Holy cow! What a throw!
You're in line for the on the money, boy.
I just closed my eyes on that play, and I heard the crowd go crazy, and I said,
I don't believe it, man.
Not sure who that young guy was, but our memorable matchup this week, September 17th, 1990, the 4th down play would set up a game-winning field goal from David Treadwell, and the Broncos beat the Chiefs 24-23 at home. And I'm pretty sure that's all.
Whoa, slow down.
I think that was all from that game.
No. There's one play. I remember this day distinctly. Show one more play, Phil.
Lock it up.
In the Kansas City game, I was standing maybe one man away when he made a big hit on a Collier, and just the sound of that hit fires you up. And all of a sudden, it was like, pow! I was looking around to see who the heck made that hit. I should have known.
I just ran full speed, and I didn't break down. I just ran through him, and he ended up going back. I don't know what I said after that, but I'm sure we'll see it in here.
Simon Fletcher interviewed there too. Funny guy. Steve, tell us about that play a little bit.
Oh, man, I was mic'd up that week, and I was really hesitant. Jim Sacamano asked me earlier in the week, hey, Steve, will you wear the mic against the Chiefs? I'm like, oh, man, I don't know about that. You know, we're going up against the Nigerian Nightmare. But at the end of the week, I decided to go ahead and get mic'd up for it. And so that opportunity came, and I went in, and, you know, fortunately, it turned out well because – trust me, I've gone in there many times, other times, and it didn't turn out so well, but you got to shoot your shot. You know, that's why I tell DBs all the time, hey, you never know what's going to happen. It may be a big play, maybe a nice big hit, or you may get trucked. Yeah. But you got to stick your head in there regardless.
Yep.
Yeah. It might not be the Nigerian Nightmare this week, though. It might be Travis Kelce that the Broncos will have to figure out what to do. Let's get to our key stat first, though. This week, the Broncos are looking to end this particular streak as well. We're talking about Patrick Mahomes, the most quarterback wins versus one team without a loss since 1950. Mahomes is 12-0 against the Broncos. The first few games, it was Alex Smith. You could also see John Elway there, 10-0 in his career against the Patriots. Wow. Mahomes is doing this against everybody in the division, 29-3 in his career against the AFC West. So not just the Broncos. And Nate, a big reason why he's having that success is Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce, one of the savviest, smartest players in the league. You know, he comes off the line of scrimmage. He waits to see things develop, and he finds the open zone. He's so well connected with his quarterback as well. They don't have to talk about it. They can feel it. They understand what each other are looking for. I don't know how you're going to stop Travis Kelce. Do you make fun of Taylor Swift? Do you sing some Taylor Swift song?
Don't make him angry.
Do you give him a friendship bracelet, at the beginning of the game? Or, as we were talking about, do you put somebody in his face to jam him, to press him, and then have somebody else shadow him? Because if you give him a free release, man, the guy's going to pick you apart. You have to put some hands on him, be physical, attack this dude. He's a human being. He doesn't want those hands on him. If they had a guy like you, they could put you up there and
No, not me. I'm not. I wouldn't be good enough. I mean, I think a guy in our situation now, like Riley Moss, would be the perfect guy. Riley Moss is physical. He's a handsy guy. He'll be perfect to put right in front of Travis Kelce. And Kelce, you got to get around me. You're taking inside away. You got to go outside. Yep. And I'm going to make it a long day for you.
But Riley Moss, he hasn't played a lot on defense.
It doesn't matter.
He's a rookie.
Bring him out.
You're going to just say, go out there and take care of maybe the best tight end of all time?
Yes.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the thing is, with Travis Kelce, many times he's running with nobody even close to him.
Yeah.
Nobody's even seeing him because everybody's playing zone coverage against him. And you got to kind of do that too, because the Chiefs will establish the run game on you if you don't take it seriously. So you got to assign somebody to be on Travis Kelce. There can't be a play when we're like, okay, we don't know where Travis Kelce is.
He's just zone is difficult against him.
Yeah, I mean, you can play a zone, but you still got to have a guy that's
on him. All right, well, let's hear a bold prediction. Now, you guys got a prediction, something that's going to happen in this game.
This is bold. bold. Travis Kelce is going to have less than 100 yards, which is good. I mean, hey, that's good for Travis Kelce.
All right.
And Mahomes under 300 yards passing, and again, I think that's a good feat. That's going to increase our chances of winning.
Nate, you got a bold prediction?
Yeah, I got a bold prediction. Justin Simmons going to pick off Patrick Mahomes again.
There we go.
Yeah, I know he's done it, I think four times.
Yeah, every game.
He's going to make it 5.
Every game.
That's the most of any defender against Patrick Mahomes. So
he's got a Justin Simmons magnet.
Yeah, Justin Simmons got to rub that off on the rest of the defense, and it will be good.
Exactly. Hey, Josie Jewell's had a couple of interceptions against Patrick Mahomes, too.
That's right.
In one game last season. He'll be tasked with slowing down Travis Kelce, and he's with Sidney Jones inside the Broncos locker room.
Well, Josie, you're coming off a season best game, 10 tackles. You feel like you're kind of getting into a groove here, getting more comfortable with this defense?
Yeah, definitely. I think a bunch of the guys are. I think we're all being able to communicate really well and play 4 quarters finally together and not have any hiccups and stuff like that. So definitely as a defense as a whole, definitely feel a lot better and just things flow a lot easier.
Yeah, you talk about communication. Is that what you credit to the recent turnaround on defense, recent success?
Yeah, probably. Justin Simmons, big guy, big communication guy. That's probably the biggest thing. It's just us being able to feel where each other at and how to play off each other, and it's been going well.
Yeah, Josie, having played the Chiefs just 2 weeks ago, how do you guys prepare for this game? Is it any different than a normal week would be?
I think it's pretty similar to what it was last time. Last time we were on a short week with that Thursday nighter. This we've got a little more tape to watch. We're going to go over the same exact tape. We're going to have to find some new games, and we got to watch the Chargers game as well. So it's a little bit different.
Looking back at that last matchup, what did you like about what the defense was able to do that you hope to build off of on Sunday?
I think it was consistency the whole game. Being able to stop them, being able to get them to 3rd and long, and not having those 3rd and mediums, those 3rd and manageable downs for them. That's what we're going to have to do again. Have to be able to keep them behind the sticks. We're going to have to be able to keep Mahomes in the pocket or sack him, just be able to make sure he's not running around.
I know it's been a storyline every single time we've played the Chiefs. You guys have lost 16 straight now. Is that something you allow yourself to think about, or kind of how do you approach that each time you guys play the Chiefs?
Every time we play them, I get more hungry. So, we need to get a win, and this feels like a good week to do it.
Last one for you, Josie. Coming off a win here at home, is there anything you can take from this momentum? What would it mean to stack some wins here?
Yeah, I mean a lot. We didn't start the season off how we wanted to. Definitely a great time to be able to start those wins and start that streak right now. And I think our team is ready for it. I think we're building every single week, getting better.
Appreciate your time, Josie.
Thank you.
Phil, I'll send it back to you.
Thank you very much, Sydney. It's time for our final break, guys. When we return, we'll have our keys to the game and also our fantasy pick for Sunday. That's next on Broncos Weekend.
He hands it off, running off right guard. Here's Javonte Williams. Williams breaks the tackle inside the 20. First out of a tackle inside the 15. He's got a first down to the Packers' 13, a gain of 15 yards. The hard, determined running of Javonte Williams.
I think we got a great trio, to be honest. Of all three of our running backs are, doing a great job, and it's been a lot of fun blocking for everyone.
Javonte Williams is coming off his best performance of the season, 96 yards from scrimmage against the Packers, and Sidney Jones features him this week in our Fantasy Focus.
Thanks, Phil. For this week's Fantasy Focus, let's take a look at running back Javonte Williams. He's coming off his best game of the season with 82 rushing yards on 15 carries and 3 receptions for 14 receiving yards, which resulted in 12.6 fantasy points in PPR leagues. And we've seen Javonte Williams continually get more involved in the game plan each week, and head coach Sean Payton said we're going to continue to see that trend of him just getting better and better. And Weekend. Head coach Sean Payton has been impressed with Javonte's confidence, stability, and recovery in recent weeks as he's worked his way back from injury. Now, I know Javonte also has a history of playing well against the Chiefs. In his 3 career games against Kansas City, he's totaled 294 scrimmage yards, averaging 98 yards per game. This Sunday, he's projected to put up 11.5 fantasy points according to ESPN, but I like his trajectory, and I think it'd be smart to put him in your starting lineup this week.
Thank you very much, Sydney. Well, what's the key to victory? We talked about a lot of stuff here. It's going to take all of it to get a victory against the Chiefs, but Steve, what's your key to victory?
I can't give keys this time?
You can give keys. Fine.
I got three of them.
Okay, all right.
First off,
it's a big key, right?
First off, you said it, physicality. Physicality is the only thing that will beat the Kansas City Chiefs. Physicality, getting that run game going. Secondly, offensively, we have to be effective in the red zone. We got to score touchdowns, not field goals. We'll take field goals if we have to, but we got to score touchdowns when we get in the red zone. And then the third one is the unknown factor. We got to have a little bit of it. We got to have a little bit of luck.
It's a magic.
Got to have a little bit of luck.
High magic.
Got to have a little bit of luck.
Okay, all right. What do you think, Nick?
All right, I got 2 keys, all right? First key is this. 60 minutes. You got to play the whole entire game. You got to play 4 quarters. The Broncos have not been doing that very effectively. They play a good half, and then the next half they come out and they lose their lead. Much has been made last week that 10 straight games the Broncos had a lead at halftime and lost that game. That's over now. They won this game, so that monkey's off their back. But play 60 minutes. Russell Wilson plays 60 minutes. He has the highest completion percentage in the first half in the NFL and the lowest in the second. Russell, play 60 minutes. But also, here's my second key. Believe you're going to win. Yeah. Step on that field and believe that you're going to beat this team. I think that goes a long way, and when you lose to a team 16 straight times and they're the world champion and nothing's going right for you, you can start feeling like, how are we going to do this? No. Believe you're going to step out on that field and win. A lot of that's the messaging from the coaches, but also the players themselves in that locker room. They got to look at each other and say, yes, we're going out here and getting this win.
Got the first home win last week. Maybe having the fans there gives them that confidence, that belief, and see if they can make it 2 in a row.
And it's going to be some Denver weather.
Oh, yes.
That's
true.
Mile-high weather.
Yes. And Taylor Swift doesn't like the snow. She doesn't.
Yeah, low 30s, maybe 20s, some snow. We'll have to see.
There we go.
See who that helps. But we know the Chiefs are on a roll. They've won 6 in a row after losing the opener. But the Broncos, they're back at home, 2nd week in a row. So this should be a good one. That is going to do it for us, for Troy Rank and Sidney Jones, and us here at the desk. Nate Jackson. Nate, thanks for coming on, man.
Anytime.
Yeah. Man. Good stuff, baby.
Thank you.
Steve Atwater, I am Phil Milani. Thank you so much for watching Broncos Weekend.